All right, guys, thank you for your patience. Today we're going to go ahead and install the replacement parts onto the 360 booth. All right, let's go ahead and twist the top off. We are going to do this twist to the left. Left to loosey, right to tighty. That's the best way I can remember. So as I'm removing the top off here, I'm going to hypnotize you. You are an excellent 360 booth operator. You are a tremendous, successful 360 booth business owner. Now look into my booth. All right, cool. So when this top part leans to the side, that means it's completely off the middle center point that holds it in place. What we're going to do next is we're going to remove these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go ahead and use this impact drill to get this done much faster. Now it's time to remove the motor along with the sensor. There's also 4 bolts here, as you guys can see. And then the cover that holds down the sensor also has 4 little screws, and they're all Phillips screws. Let me go ahead and remove this piece of tape here to give me some room. And the next step, guys, is removing, like I said, this motor along with the cover to the sensor. Let's go ahead and do that. If you guys don't have a drill bit like this here, an impact drill, you can go ahead and use a regular screwdriver. It's going to take you a little longer, but that's okay. And so as I'm removing this, guys, I just want to remind you that this is my very first time doing this. And as you can see, it comes off pretty easily after removing those 4 bolts. And you can see the positive and negative cable that go into the sensor from the motor here. Now let's go ahead and remove this cover that's covering the actual sensor. I'm going to go ahead and remove these screws as well. Always find creative ways, guys, to continue to scale your business. Have your business be a reflection of who you are as an individual. So the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is remove this top off from this sensor. What's interesting, guys, is that they made it very easy to remove this and install it with the replacement, because it comes together as a kit. As you guys can see, they're already all connected to one another. And if I take this right over here and compare it to the replacement parts I received from Cindy, once again, thank you, Cindy. You guys can see that everything comes kind of pre-assembled for you, which is great. And so what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the process. We're going to go ahead and install the sensor here along with the motor. I removed the cover from the previous sensor to put it on top of my replacement sensor. The only step here that we're going to take that's a little different is we're going to be adding this belt. This is the belt that I had to cut off in order to make my booth manual. So how you want to do it is this. You want to place this belt around the main spindle here, this wheel. Okay. After this, what you want to do is you want to grab your motor. And give me a second while I go ahead and grab that. What you want to do is you want to grab your motor and align it to where the belt is on both wheels, the smaller wheel and the motor itself, and it needs to be tight enough. I'm going to show you how to do that as soon as I line this up here. This is what we're going to add all 4 screws onto the cover. Alright, very cool. Let's go ahead and grab the belt and put it around the motor spindle here. And we want to line the lines here, align with those holes. Those holes is where our screws are going to be going to. Now, if you have someone helping you, you might want them to kind of pull it in the opposite direction so that the belt is nice and tight. I'm just kind of doing this on my own while my niece is recording this video. Sorry that I had a cough. And now I'm going to tighten this just a little bit. I didn't do it perfectly the first time. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to fasten it just enough for it to have a little bit of a enough so that it's holding it for me. And then I wanted to push the motor as far out as possible so that the belt would be nice and tight. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding 4 screws, but I'm not tightening them up all the way. I'm just putting them in there so that I can move it, and then when it's really tight, then I'll go back in there with my drill gun and tighten the 4 bolts. And I'll fast forward so you guys can see that. So here I am just trying to align this, and also making sure that the belt is nice and tight. So see how I'm kind of pushing it away from the larger wheel there, just so that there's enough tension on that belt, and now I'm securing the bolts. It's nice and tight. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reprogram one of my older controllers to synchronize with my replacement sensor, and the way you do that is this. You're going to get your either portable charger like this one here, or your wall outlet, and you're going to connect it to your booth. While it's off, you're going to hold down the power button on your controller like this. Hold down the power button and don't let it go. Now while you're holding down the power button, this is what I want you guys to do next. While you're holding down the power button and you see the red light indicator go on, go ahead and turn on the booth, or turn on your Talon Cell battery, and you'll hear your remote program, because your replacement remote will be able to trigger your arm, your 360 booth motor, just like this, guys. And remember, the way you do that again is you hold down the power button while there's no power going to your booth, then you turn on your booth while you're holding down the power button on the remote for about a few seconds until your remote syncs up with the sensor, replacement sensor. And that's it, guys. You're good to go. Go ahead and connect the arm, put this leverage system back on there, piece of cake, and that's pretty much it, guys. You can get this done in less than 10 minutes. If you guys have any questions, I encourage you to post your questions in the comment box below, or join the 360 booth community on Facebook, where you will find over 2,000 360 booth operators, and we can always bounce ideas off one another and just kind of support each other on the creative side. Thanks again, guys. Don't forget to like this video to help me out. Peace.